I've been meaning to connect with local spirits recently, and I was drawn to this area, and I sat down by this tree.
Like Xavier.
I called the goddess Hecate, Hecate Cathonia, Hecate Dodophilos, guide me along my meditation.
But what if,
this day, that I may connect with local spirits?
You want the dead to speak back.
People that have that kind of aptitude are more likely to retain their form after death, so they're more likely to exist as spirits.
What Xavier doesn't know is that secret was buried here on November 8th, 1940.
A Ouija board is a tool like many others that you can use to divine information from spirits. In order for a Ouija board to work, you have to have a sense of belief in that it's going to work.
Ask this board anything, and it will give you an answer. Can I tell your story? It all started with an idea from a man named Charles Kenner and another named Elijah Bond. To get those answers, we went to the historians.
Talking boards existed before Ouija, and people would make them themselves.
The two decided to invent this board and sell it as a game.
Well, when it was originally made, you actually asked the board questions. You weren't trying to talk to the spirit world.
The Ouija board was named and first manufactured in Baltimore. But a woman named Helen Peters, who was the sister-in-law of the man who patented the board, was considered a strong medium.
Helen was there the night the board was born.
So they decided to ask the board what it wanted to be called. And it answered O-U-I-J-A. And when they asked what that meant, the board answered good luck. So Elijah Bond, who files for the patent, brings Helen Peters with her, and they start to demonstrate it. It goes all the way up to the chief clerk of the patent office, and he says, I don't know you, and you don't know me, but if that contraption can spell out my name, you've got your patent. And with Helen Peters, the mother of the Ouija board, at the board, it spells out his name letter by letter.
But the board caused a feud in Helen's family.
She moved to Denver, and she lived here from 1896 until 1940 when she died. And she'd been basically erased from history. No one knew that there was a woman involved at all with the Ouija board.
Helen gave life to what it is today.
We sort of affectionately call her the mother of the Ouija board.
Whether it's a game or something more.
But if you believe that there's a possibility that the Ouija board is going to part the veil, then it will.
There's a lot of presences in this area.
The mystery of the board connecting two worlds is buried here.
It definitely feels really vibrant in this area. Like, I feel like my feet are buzzing. I'm gonna stand over here to the side, actually.
And the answer to the Ouija mystery.
What are you feeling?
Kind of like elation, euphoria that isn't my own.
It's whatever you want to believe.
She's really happy to have that recognition.
Endeavor.
You know, after such a long time.
Thomas Hopper. Denver 7.
I think that's a maybe for me.
Yeah, I'm not like
maybe.
It's a maybe, yeah.
Labor of love.
That sounds familiar.
Bless you, darling.
Oh, maybe
I don't
not.
remember this.
Bless you. Right on. Alia, you began making waves on June 5th at 7:30 a.m.
Amber Sheehan's first journal entry as a mother was a long time coming.
And we weren't sure that we were ever gonna try again or have a baby. Fuss, fuss, fuss.
The first days of motherhood are full of shock and kind of awful.
Not in the awful, like bad way, but AWE, full of awe. Are you ready for the real deal?
Her name is Alia Miel Sheehan, and every sound she makes is momentous.
So I'm trying to get all those little moments before they just slip into the cloud of oxytocin bliss.
How far would you go to preserve a defining moment in life? 1 month earlier, Amber laid the groundwork for a moment frozen in time. At that point, 36 weeks pregnant. At a basement studio in Swannanoa, all hands and feet on deck.
I
No, the
appreciate
focus
art.
was just
She found a
pulled forward.
creative way to document a glorious bump in the road of life.
Having a physical, tangible memory of what
That's
it's
all
like
for
to carry someone inside you.
Walter Beals is a life casting
That looks
artist.
off.
Right now we're using just a standard egg beater.
I can call it. This one's a no.
What's that last one called? The one
Mother of the
before
board.
this? Yeah, mother of the board. Sea camp.
It sounds familiar.
It does. Maybe not.
When you take time to listen to the world around you, chances are you'll hear things differently.
Oh yeah. And then the blind kids at the
This is
grocery
what
store.
expanding your horizons might sound like.
I just love for the kids
okay,
to experience new things.
Kylie, let's go.
The jiggling keys are audio cues,
If I didn't say sorry, that'd be playing rude.
and our ears tell us we're in for a comical ride with Layla and Kylie.
Come on, Kylie.
Big step.
Let's go, Kylie. You come on. Let's go. I can feel your cane.
Blind since birth,
Grab your friends and go. Come on. When am I gonna feel your cane?
fast friends,
Later.
Are you sisters?
This is really
No,
good
we're not.
moments,
We're
Kai.
not.
This one,
I
I do
just
remember
knew it.
that.
Yes, we were. I wish we were. Then we could get in as much fights and arguments and be mean to my brother as we want to.
the BFFs just met at Sea Camp, which takes vision-impaired kids to everyday places like the grocery store, where they can stop and smell the citrus
Lemon?
or get a whiff of the cilantro.
Ugh.
They follow a Braille shopping list.
Tea bags. Tea bags is right. I knew it. You're annoying me when you whisper that in your head. So can you please stop?
One thing they don't need is caffeine.
I'm too free-willed for caffeine. Yes, no. It's my job to say yes. It's my job to say yes.
Let's just say they said yes to a long list of ingredients.
We're going to be cooking them for parents. We're going to have a big meal. We need eggs.
What size?
Lead counselor Sean Watts does his best to keep them on track.
Wait, where did that carton go? Eggs are for brownies.
That's true. And another thing about eggs, we got to be really careful with them because they crack easy. So don't squeeze the packages.
Then they get slimy.
You ready?
And there's your receipt.
Thank you. Vegetable oil and chipotle chili powder. That's what we're using to cook. I don't want it to make a little spice. That's gross.
Thursday is the final day of camp
Can you get one more bunch of cilantro?
and a showcase for everything they've learned.
Can I just take a few nipples? I beg you.
Our sisters by another mister are at it again,
But the thing is, I don't want any chili powder.
making slightly spicy chipotle brownies for the Mexican feast. Someone called the fire department.
I need some water. Why do you need water? Because it tasted chili powder. Why did you do that?
They might have eaten more batter than they actually baked.
But there's a big thing on my hand.
That girl
lick
is.
the
She's got
lid.
personality.
Even so,
I might have to take out some of the bigger pieces.
camp director Jay Hardwick says making one meal boosts confidence.
We plan a meal. We make our menu list. We do our budgeting. We go grocery shopping. A good opportunity to remind them that these kids can get in the kitchen and have some fun and make some good food too. Right, I do that.
Layla's dad, Jason, thinks the bonding experience is important.
Interact with her peers and, peers, people your same age and things like that.
Every camper had a hand in cooking this spread. It gives their parents an idea of what the kids are capable of. To Kylie's mom, Deanna,
Yes, sir.
this is real comfort food.
I have faith that even though she's totally blind, that she can function in society and she will be independent one day.
And really, that's all any parent wants to hear. Together, learning to open their
I just
eyes
wanted
to
to
new
finish the story.
experiences. Though the jury's still out on spicy brownies,
Spicy brownies.
and maybe that's
I'm curious.
growth sounds
I
like.
made chocolate chili cookies one day.
It was at John Lee, News 13.
You made chocolate.
Chocolate chili cookies. They're good. They're good.
That sounds good.
That's a no.
That's a no. She's such a character.
She was funny. Please, I beg you. What is that called?
Mouth painter?
Oh.
I don't think we saw this.
No.
When I was 21, when I was going to college, I was in a car accident. When you have a spinal cord injury, I find you stay in your left brain almost all the time. You're thinking about the physics of moving your body. I love to do the painting because it brings you back into the right side and kind of balances you out a little bit.
Did he do that behind him? I said, he did that behind him. Whoa.
I tried to do art before with my hands, and it wasn't real detailed or accurate. And then I had the idea of maybe putting the brush in my mouth. It's kind of like a meditation. And time flies by.
Nice.
And it's a fun thing. It clears my mind. I don't have to worry about things.
Oh, the fish looks so grumpy.
I know, right? I wonder if that's an Oscar.
Mostly I use 3 colors because it's kind of difficult for me to mix my paint. So I really focus on a minimal amount of paint and positive and negative space. I kind of like to keep it simple style, not take too long to do a painting. Kind of keeps it easier on the neck muscles.
God, it just got really loud.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah, it keeps getting loud. No, it's good. It's very loud. That's a yes for
I
me.
like that.
That was a very good yes for me.
Yep.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Good shooting. Everybody knows their game. Oh, this is the pinball.
Is it? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Off an SO or POI reel. Is it?
There's a movement in Music City.
Oh, yeah.
In this age of nearly universal smartphone entertainment addiction, you might even call it a little out of place. But for a growing group obsessed with flippers, bumpers, and
Was this
tilts,
POI or something else?
It was on POI.
this
I know who's real.
is where they say they fit right in.
Yeah, how you doing?
Shannon Bepperath
Yeah, I'm officially ranked now.
started joining these gatherings just a few months ago.
60,520, I think, is my rank.
The National Pinball League calls this back room home. For a few hours each month, players can spend time knocking a few years off their ages.
It makes me feel like a kid.
While knocking back a few,
Don't mind the beer.
call it temporary time
She's a good
travel.
character.
There's not an Xbox or PlayStation in sight. And the nearest iPhone you can find here is under glass.
I mean, I get sick of staring at screens all day. Technology has, I think, gotten to that point where it's got too advanced.
Your husband
That's
went to
lit
state,
well
right?
for
And
being
now we got
in.
everyone
Yeah, I was
kind
just
of wanting
thinking
to
it's
go
like
backwards
it's
a little bit.
really hard to shoot in there because of all the light. It's good stuff. Good job.
They brought a light. And
Well, yeah, no, shot, yeah.
Still,
The room's
others
dark.
like this Whole Foods grocer
Well, that light's coming off.
Yeah, the machine.
Yeah.
here
Machine, yeah.
just for the thrill of victory, cemented in blue LEDs.
I get to enter my initials. This is like a great moment because, like, you know, everyone wants their initials on a board, right? NWC. #1 grand champion. That's never happened to me on a machine.
Over the last few months, the National Pinball League has become
That's
so
gonna get that
popular,
moment.
it was forced to expand.
Cher, she's over the women's league.
That's right, Nashville's Women Pinball League.
Yeah, on every other Sunday. So now here he comes.
But no matter what the goal of each machine,
I like that.
Give me the electric chair.
or the outcome,
And you knocked me out. Ain't that a bunch of crap?
Have really good tight shots in here.
in this plugged-in, forward-moving city, these gamers are always willing to rewind and give a cheer at the place where everybody knows their game.
Oh, there's always
That's
next
good.
time. Always. Now we gotta do the Rocky, and I'm gonna get you, Cher.
With photojournalist Jason Lamb, News Channel 5.
This one's a yes for me.
It's a yes. The one room challenge. You know.
Yeah, that's a big yes for me.
Good job with that. Oh, Forgotten Ghost.
I don't know if we've seen this one.
It's the city that gave us the world's first industrial park. The General Electric site that drew some pretty impressive visitors. Among the first in the country to give women the right to vote. And the world's first billionaire, oil tycoon John D. Rockefeller himself, had an East Cleveland address on what used to be known as Millionaire's Row. All this, it was. Before its fall into ruin.
I see hopelessness. East Cleveland I knew was never coming back. It was such a beautiful community.
I have seen the transformation from good to bad.
But that transformation from glory
I couldn't even walk in this one.
to ghost.
It looks like war pictures you see overseas.
The kind of story
You know, people say, well, let's save it. Well,
you hear with your eyes.
it's not exactly an option on something like this.
Precisely the tale an urban explorer like John Whitaker
It's almost, you know, you're time traveling.
is determined to tell.
I like
With the exception of you're not seeing it in its glory, you're seeing it in its final days.
One photo at a time.
There's one last way to turn something ugly into something nice before it's gone. The graffiti is colorful as can be in this place.
His love for these structures started here
Right there in East Cleveland being destroyed.
at the Warner and Swayze Observatory.
I love this one.
Abandoned,
Very unique.
yet beautiful. In its textures, its artistry, and its decay.
Of all the places in East Cleveland, this is one that just, yeah, you don't want to see this one go.
All adding to his final vision for the photos.
I value the old architect, so this is art to me.
The only thing he takes from these places are the images.
Now, I don't destroy nothing. I don't take nothing because it's not mine.
What he gives to them is perspective,
Yeah, a lot of people took notice.
which he posts here on his Facebook page.
The Forgotten Ghost, you know, they're lost in time, so I came up with Forgotten Ghost Photography. Then a couple people started referring to me as the ghost.
To start a debate, challenging others to re-examine what we value.
It tells a story at the same time of how wasteful we are as human beings.
You opened my eyes to what had happened to it.
They see it, they just don't care.
What's that? He's not just online either.
So you got slumlords that took over,
The so-called ghost
didn't take care of the properties, didn't care about the people.
is on air too.
That's the pity of the city.
Visiting talk radio programs to discuss how a once magnificent city deteriorated
Nothing left in them, they've been gutted.
to this point.
The only way to help that city is to tear what was once beautiful down.
Why do they gotta live looking at all this?
As the city of East Cleveland works its way toward prosperity again,
The pictures that we take when we go out there, that's what's gonna be left of it.
new buildings will rise,
Yeah, it's all over, all this marble.
while many of these
Found
relics
in
of past glory
When it's gone.
will become ghosts themselves.
I understand change is part of the world, but You'd like to somehow see some
That
of
was
it
scary.
restored, not all crumbled into the ground.
In East Cleveland.
This one's a
It's a yes.
big yes.
So can I say something what I really like?
Go ahead.
It's every single shot in this 4-minute video meant something. Like
It was
every
intentional.
single shot was just very good.
That's a
Very
lot of
thoughtful.
shooting.
Yeah, it was a lot of shooting.
lot of
and
shooting.
For every single shot to mean something like that, it was really artistically done for me.
The editing is. I know we're judging.
Yeah,
photography,
no,
but the
it's
editing
not
just
just the editing.
took
I
it
mean,
to
the
another
editing
level.
was good, really good. No doubt about that. But like the editor had a lot of great images to work with on this one.
If the photographer didn't edit himself.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, it was shot very well.
I really enjoyed that one.
Okay. Oh, we know
Old Car
this one.
City.
Old Car City. That's the
That's a yes.
museum.
Oh, yeah.
That's a yes for me.
Yeah, that's a yes for me.
Do we need to watch it?
No.
We don't need to watch it.
I photographed some of those abandoned places in high school.
In Cleveland?
Yeah.
So it's becoming a thing?
This was like my freshman or sophomore year of high school, so it was a little bit ago.
We positive that's the one, right?
Yeah.
Old Car City. Okay. I just like how some of these titles would be different. We're like, no.
And some of them changed their
Big
name.
league contract.
A big league contract.
Is this the Marine?
No.
In Millville, New Jersey, a little place that's making it big. They've got that giant mural downtown, right by a little burger joint.
Anything else for you today?
Where the customers wonder about the local boy made good,
I'm glad you made it.
Mike Trout. Maybe the best player in baseball.
They ask if Mike Trout's in here. They ask when's the last time he's been in here.
The angel with an all-star appetite.
6 hamburgers with just sauce.
But these days, Trout isn't the only game in town. Right down the road is a major league facility. And what they make here are signs for interstate highways, local roads, and the streets of New York.
It's actually applying this thermal ribbon.
That's Robert Green, who runs the shop with his mom, dad, and sister. A family business that keeps growing.
Currently sitting on a property that's just about 1 million square feet total with 6 buildings.
They're extra busy lately, churning out a new Cross Bronx.
These tight shots are good.
And a fresh FDR. Because New York City is replacing every single sign in the 5 boroughs. 250,000 in all. We caught up with Rafael Carvajal and Javier Figuera in Queens.
Every single one is the same.
These workers go up, take down the faded sign, put up the shiny new one.
Great.
Then do it again and again.
We do about 100, 120 a day. This is the 2 signs compared one to the other.
We have been falling behind in terms of the number of signs to install on a regular basis. So right now we're doubling the production.
You'll see the new ones with lowercase letters. And the old ones in all caps. Some of them decades old. This sign you can't even read.
Wow.
Swapping. A $250,000 signs costs more than $2 million.
Got a lot of people that tell me that it's a waste of money.
They cost a lot of money always to change these signs. We're paying for it. I don't see any difference.
Lou Domenici on her front stoop.
People don't even look at the signs.
But on the opposite side,
It's putting the finishing touch. Beautiful, beautiful.
Heinz Job with rave reviews.
It's a piece of art, People would actually see it and read it.
I'm Elizabeth Carey Smith. I'm a typographer and the vice president of the Type Directors Club.
Smith says the federally mandated switch from all caps to upper and lower is a smart safety choice.
We read best what we read most, And if you think about what you're reading day in and day out, it's not strings of capital letters. And if they have to replace them anyway because they're old, they might as well do them the right way.
It all leads back to the factory in Millville, where just like the homegrown all-star, they've got their big league contract.
To be able to walk around New York City, to look up and say, wow, we made that. And to be able to know that it came out of our facilities is a really cool feeling.
Making every one of those signs over the next 10 years. In Millville, Andrew Sitt, News 4 New York.
You don't see the what?
The microphone.
Okay, I'm just confused about why we started with Mike Trout.
Because he's a big league contract sign. He's a baseball player, and he's signed with the
town.
Angels. Yeah.
Yes, I know that, but what does he have to do with replacing street signs?
Because the company that's making the street signs are in the same city that he's from. They were just trying to make a connection to
parallel to a
it didn't click with me at all.
Okay.
At all.
The Mike Trout is
like I thought we were gonna circle back to Mike Trout. Like I'm a huge baseball fan.
They
I know who
did.
Mike Trout is. They kind of did, but it didn't. That was my only complaint with this. But I love it. Was shot really
wasn't
well.
made enough for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean,
I got
that
it right.
aside,
Yeah, I got it right away too.
that aside, this was shot
Yes.
wonderfully.
Definitely a yes.
Yeah. Big yes. What? The question?
The question on the corner.
Oh, I remember this one.
It sounds
the one that
familiar.
you were really searching for.
It's a story that makes people feel good. And my God, we need a lot of joy right now. It's a concept rooted in the American.
I didn't mind it, but
I think I'm comfortable saying no.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't mind it, but you know, it's yeah. I'll say no because it's not as strong as the ones that
we've got some contenders.
Yeah.
The hello, how are you sign. The mural. Doesn't sound familiar.
I like the underdog. So I like to create something that
Oh,
gives power to the underdog. Gives power to somebody who, in a general sense,
I remember this going up, but that's about it.
I know.
The most important thing to me is create something with content.
I need to keep going a little bit.
Lay down some colors. The beginning process doesn't.
Oh, Martin Luther King?
Because it's just a bunch of
No.
notches.
It's
I go by JMH.
Yeah,
and I'm looking at creating a mural here. It's a 9,000 square foot mural.
Holy
it's ultimately
mother
paying
of
homage to
pearl.
those people who are really behind developing America and putting the bricks together to make America what it is. It's a long process. Putting things down, overlapping things, putting more stuff down, overlapping more stuff. I'm just looking at the whole thing, and before I put something on the wall, I have to absorb it, I have to feel that it's the right place to put it. This is week 2. Ultimately, now we're at the phase where everything's laid out. All the cut work is done. We're just laying down some color, doing a little detail. The closer you get towards the final product, you need to be a lot more detailed. Just making sure every.
It's a no.
Potential there is great, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I remember
yeah, I
this.
remember this one.
We just saw it yesterday, I think.
Yeah. You don't have this one?
Oh wait, never mind, I found it.
Yeah, hit play on it for a sec.
Named it Answer the Call.
Oh, it's gonna get hot. It ain't hot yet. It's a hot morning. It ain't hot yet, my friend.
Inside a sheet metal warehouse in Corsicana, Texas.
Thank you, my darling.
Don Capehart's wife Rita brings the water, and looking over all of it, Don laughs at his latest investment.
You know, I was telling you the other day about getting those 3 payphones over there. I took my key up here and opened them. I got $78 worth of money out of them.
Have you ever had a passion become your calling?
That's more than I gave for the phones.
I like how the
You
wife.
saved one of this.
Yes.
You don't need to save 3. Let somebody else do it, or just save the one.
Me in 50
You
years.
saved something.
Don
You
spent
sure
his
15?
working life as a Western
I
Electric
said 50.
installation manager.
You sure at 50?
Part of
Would be
Manhattan.
that right
Time when
now?
phones
tomorrow.
had
Yeah.
cords that always tangled. He's even saved an example of that.
Well, when the breakup of AT&T and Western Electric happened, I asked where my history was, and nobody could tell me. So I